louisianacentral.com/Kim. Keep moving.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome on in to Talkback here on your Wednesday morning. I'm Al Quartermont along with Stephen Maxwell, ready for what should be a great show today. It's a good day, especially if you are a teacher in the Rapides Parish School District.
Man, how about that? We have some big bucks people coming around here.
Yeah.
Triple tax day.
If you hadn't heard, they call this the 13th check. It's basically the revenue that comes from sales tax funds in Rapides Parish. And that check that'll be going to the teachers is $9,110. Support staff will get $4,555. That'll be issued May 22nd. So if you know a teacher and you need some money, hit them up.
Well, that's the day the new Star Wars comes out, so that's perfect timing.
There you go.
Yeah. That's before Uncle Sam takes his chunk out of there, so still a nice amount of money, and we'll have Jeff Powell, superintendent, come on the show at 8 o'clock or 8:05 to discuss more about that.
On the Star Wars movie, why wouldn't they have put it out on May the 4th?
I don't know.
I guess it's before, technically, the summer season starts, maybe, but
I don't even know if Disney put anything out for May the 4th, something special. I didn't check, so I don't know.
Yeah.
They usually hype it up, but that's what a lot of people were saying like a year and a half ago whenever they announced the movie. But
yeah.
Hey, we'll take it, I guess.
You know what movie looks cool? I saw they released a trailer for it yesterday. The Odyssey.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be legit, as they would say.
That looks really good.
Peter Jackson's doing it?
Yeah, I think so.
He's the one who did Lord of the Rings and the King Kong movies, so
it's coming out in
good.
July.
I'll definitely go see that.
A few summer blockbusters to look forward to.
Looks like we have good movies coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Odyssey is going to be awesome.
It does look good. It'll
be a hard one to do, too.
Yeah.
Did they say how long it's going to be?
No.
It's going to be as long as an Odyssey, I guess.
Probably 3 hours.
Yeah.
As long as they give you bathroom breaks in there.
As long as it's good. I mean, Lord of the Rings was 3.5 hours.
Keep your attention. All right. Well, here's what we have coming up for you on the show this morning here on Talkback. In a few minutes, we'll be talking with Chris Massengill from Louisiana Central. He'll have some details on an event they're calling Rally for the Region. It's a free event that's happening next Tuesday, May 12th at England Air Park, looking to bring people together to strengthen the local workforce and grow the local economy. Then at 7:40, we'll be getting a call from Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, as this week is National Travel and Tourism Week. The Lieutenant Governor will be in Pineville for a noontime luncheon today, which will spotlight tourism here in Central Louisiana. So, and as Stephen mentioned, we will also have for you coming up at 8:05, Rapides Parish Superintendent Jeff Powell, just a quick call in to kind of let us know more about that 13th check that is coming in. So I know the folks are pretty excited about that, and rightly so. So congratulations to our local teachers. Steve's going to run out right now because we just heard our bell ring. That means we have a guest at the door, and that probably means that would be Chris Massengill. We'll also try to get into some other news, not the least of which would be the debate that happened yesterday. I don't know how many of you had a chance to listen to the Moon Griffon show, but Julia Letlow and John Fleming had their radio debate yesterday on Moon's show. Not only that, but they streamed it live on Facebook, so you did get to see the video component as well. And it was about 90 minutes, took up the full first hour and about half of the second hour. And it looked like a great debate, or interesting debate for sure. So we'll break down that a little bit coming up as well. So that's what's coming up here on this morning's show on a very good Wednesday. And now sliding into the seat and joining us is going to be from Louisiana Central, Chris Massengill. We're just getting him set up camera-wise and microphone-wise, as he's got an event he'll be telling us about this morning. Good morning, Chris. How are you today?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into this and tell us more about this event, which is coming up. Sounds like a pretty cool event called Rally for the Region. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, thank you, Al, very much. It's great to be with you all this morning. We're excited about bringing in a guy by the name of Mark Perna. He is a national thought leader when it comes to workforce development, talent development, economic development, really kind of connecting the pipelines of all three of those to maximize our future workforce.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's kind of funny. Some folks actually refer to him to the Gen Z whisperer.
The Gen Z whisperer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because we want to maximize all the young people in today's workforce.
Sure.
We can't afford to lose one person because we need it.
Yeah.
You know, right now, just in Rapides Parish, when you look at platforms like Indeed and et cetera, there are over 5,200 job openings right now.
Really?
That's right. And
Wow.
we need to fill those. We need everybody participating in the workforce. And so this mini summit is to bring educators and people that are part of the ecosystem for workforce and talent development in one place to talk about how we can better collaborate. We're doing good stuff, but how do we supersize that? And Mark Perna's got a great message. He's just a global thought leader in this.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, he's got an amazing book that has got a lot of popularity. In fact, he does a podcast that reaches over 70 countries. He writes for Forbes.com. And we're excited to have him in the region. He's been in Louisiana a few times before, but we've been trying to get him here in Central for about 3 years. Well, he's coming along with the IADC president, Nathan Oley. That's the International Economic Development Council. That's our national organization that represents all of the practicing economic developers. So that's next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But really the main event is Tuesday at the England Airport Community Center from 8 to 12 p.m.
Okay. So who can attend this event on Tuesday?
If you own a business, if you're hiring, if you're part of the HR team, the talent development team, if you're part of the ecosystem, or you just want to understand how to connect with today's workforce, particularly our Gen Z and Alpha folks, we want you to come be a part of this strategy session, understanding kind of what's happening and how we really move that generation to maximize the opportunities that we have here in Central Louisiana.
Okay. Do people have to get tickets? Is there a call?
It is a free event. All you got to do is register, and you can go rallytheregion.com, or you can go to Louisiana Central, or you can reach out to us. It is no cost, and we'd love to have you.
All right. Yeah. It sounds like an amazing opportunity.
I'm really excited. Mark is just, he's just really amazing. He's an energetic speaker. He travels, does about 90 major keynotes a year, and does this weekly publication with Forbes. And he just really connects and understands how to really connect employers, the ecosystem for workforce development and talent development, and really maximizing the strategies that are put in place to really have alignment. You know, good collaboration doesn't always mean alignment.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that we're rowing in the same direction in terms of getting everybody we can into the workforce.
Has he hit on, or do you think he'll talk about, especially when you talk about Gen Z specifically, the whole impact that we're seeing already starting to happen and eventually is really going to happen with the influx of artificial intelligence?
Well, Al, it's interesting that you mentioned that. You know, we're technically, you hear this and you read a lot about it, and he actually speaks about this. We're in the fourth major industrial revolution, particularly when it comes to automation and AI and technology, and how that's connecting to today's generation of workforce. It's what he refers to as the why generation, which means it's about purpose and relevance. And he also really kind of goes into this idea about doing education with a purpose. There are multiple pathways to success. When I was growing up, you kind of really hit over the head. There's only one way. You got to go to a four-year institution. You got to get that traditional BS degree. And that's just not the reality of it. We really need to be talking about lifelong learning, getting our young people to be career ready. Sometimes you hear career and college ready. Well, what's the difference? We need them to be career ready so you can maximize going into the workforce that fits your lifestyle and what you want to do in your life. And the Y generation is really about giving them purpose, giving them relevance, and making sure that we're adapting the system that speaks to them, that gives them real purpose and motivation to get into the workforce. And there are multiple pathways to success. And it's not about not having conversations about additional education. This is lifelong learning. This is about, you've got to, whatever the case may be, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, that's fantastic. But 70% of all the new jobs that are coming online do not require a traditional 4-year degree, but they still maintain a high degree of technical skills, a high degree of professional skills. Well, what does that mean? Well, showing up on time, being able to work in a team, being able to work in a collaborative environment. Understanding technology in today's workforce is critically important. Stackable degrees, stackable certifications, and technical certifications. Those are all very relevant that can create a pathway for success for today's young person.
What are your thoughts, Al, on Gen Z, huh? Teaching them every day.
Yeah, no, I get to see it up front. And I think a lot of what Chris has said so far does ring true. We just got to figure out how to keep them from being so distracted by their cell phones.
Well, what I think Mark would tell you is that he would advise us to lean into that. He actually spends a lot of time, we hear this sayings like, well, this generation, they're lazy, or
Back
they're
in my day.
right. I mean, that's the number one that you always hear about, the Gen Z, and what he would push back on is that actually this is one of the most talented generation, the most technically savvy generation that we've had, the most resourceful, but they just process things differently. And we have to make sure that we are communicating the right way to get them to be motivated to take part into the system to be successful. It's really on us. And when we do that, we give them real purpose, we give them relevancy, and we impact our economy, because we can't afford not to address the skills gap. And the skills gap is having a major impact on our economy at every level, and at every level of education and experience. And we need to maximize the connection and the pipelines between education, employment, economic development. And he's going to give us some strategies to do that.
And again, the website is rallysinlaw.com if they want to sign up.
Rallysinlaw.com, 8 to 12 p.m. next Tuesday, May the 11th.
So it sounds like people maybe even in the education sector might want to attend this.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we've teamed up with Jeff Powell in the school district. We're so excited to partner with him. We're also partnering with the regional Central Louisiana Chamber. They've been fantastic partners, and Central Louisiana Technical and Community College, Dr. Poole. They've all jumped in with me and to help make this happen, and we're really excited about that. He's going to actually be in the region for 3 days. He's spending 2 full days with educators and administrators, and then he's spending an afternoon and evening with parents, because parents are the major influencers for their young person. Sure. And getting them to understand the various pathways to success, how to tap into today's economy and what that looks like, and to really take advantage of those opportunities. We gotta also make sure we're continuing to educate the parents.
And if people aren't familiar, you're having this at the Air Park, at the community center.
Community center there at the England Air Park, yes, sir.
Yeah, nice facility, by the way.
It's a great facility. We're lucky to have it.
Not to bombard you with other questions.
Yeah,
how's
what
the
you got?
AI data center stuff going?
What AI data?
Yes.
What? I hear it's the worst kept secret in America.
That's what I'm saying.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Listen, this really has been an amazing and cool project. We're getting so very close to really seeing this project become a full reality. What people see right now is a lot of dirt moving and things and construction equipment, but there's still a few steps to go. But we're excited because these are transformational projects for our community and our region. And talking about technology, talking about building that infrastructure that will even make us more competitive, because having access, what a lot of people don't understand is that the major fiber and technology corridor in America comes right through here. And it puts us in a very unique competitive advantage when it comes to that. And we're excited that we're competing for this project, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We're all working together. That's something that has not been lost on me. I've been here now about 7 or 8 months. It's been amazing how people have rallied, how people have stepped up and really been supportive when they see massive opportunities to create jobs and to improve economic opportunities for this region. And it will be historic. It will be a historic investment in our people and our community if this thing ultimately happens. And I'm very optimistic. I really am optimistic about this project coming to fruition, about other opportunities that we're working. And, it's our time. I'm just super excited about the future of Rapides Parish and Alexandria and Pineville and all of central Louisiana, from the Mississippi River to the Sabine River. And I'm proud to be here. And we're going to wake this place up. It's our time. It's our moment. But we have to step into it, and we have to be bold. We have to show courage, and we have to be willing to take on some things that may make folks uncomfortable.
Can we keep you for one more?
Of course.
Segment? Okay,
Absolutely.
We'll be right back. Chris Massengill is our guest from Louisiana Central.
KSYL.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Young folks across the nation are struggling to land jobs. The unemployment rate for recent college graduates remained high in the first 3 months of the year. According to the New York Fed, unemployment for those between the ages of 22 and 27 with a degree was 5.6% in March. Entry-level jobs have come under threat as more companies incorporate artificial intelligence into workflows. Well, there are signs the U.S. and Iran are nearing an agreement to end the conflict. This is sending stock futures soaring this morning on hopes of a breakthrough. Cruise operators and airlines are seeing gains while energy companies are falling. An electric vehicle maker, Lucid, has been dealing with a series of production challenges, supply chain issues, and rising costs. The company has launched a review of the number of cars it plans to produce. Lucid is working to align its output with demand. The company had earlier planned to roll out as many as 27,000 vehicles this year. Lucid currently makes a sedan and SUV. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
If you're like me, your phone is always in your hand, or at least in your pocket, right? Well, now your library can be too. The Rapides Parish Library app is here and free for iPhone and Android users. Search books, place holds, renew items, even scan a barcode. See if the library has it before you buy it. You'll get event updates, account alerts, and directions to your nearest branch, all in one place. So go ahead, put the library in your pocket. Download the Rapides Parish Library app today.
Well, scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for us today. Good morning. A few of those storms could be severe. Afternoon highs near 85 degrees. That chance of rain, though, only about a 40% chance. Now tonight, chance of rain up to an 80% chance as cool front moves through. Some of those storms tonight could be severe. We'll get down to 60 degrees. Partly to mostly cloudy on Thursday with a high 73. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We continue here on your Wednesday morning. Al Quartermont, Stephen Maxwell, and talking with our guest for this morning, who is, by the way, Chris Massengill from Louisiana Central. He's been telling us about Rally for the Region. It's an event coming up on May 12th. That's next Tuesday at England Air Park, and it should be a great event. I had actually somebody text me asking, you mentioned that there's a session that your speaker will be talking with parents. Is there a way that parents can attend that, or do they need to know something special for that?
Yes, and what we would probably recommend is to connect with the school district.
Okay.
They're coordinating that side of it. The public event that we're doing with business and industry and workforce development, some of our partners in that space, that's Tuesday from 8 to noon. But we know that there will be a session, I believe that's on Tuesday evening with the parents. But I know that the school district is putting out information about that, and we'd encourage it. Or call us. Just give us a buzz or text us, and we'll get you connected to the right person to do that.
All right, very good. I know that, a few weeks ago, you and Stephen did a long sit-down interview and a lot of interesting things. If people didn't see that, they can go and check your Facebook page and find that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
He did a good job. He's tough now. I mean, he's thorough.
He's going to nail you to the wall.
No, you're very in-depth. I appreciate it.
One event that, or one new industry that's coming to town, I know that you didn't have a chance to cover that, but this was a kind of a big deal a couple years ago when they announced that they were coming. The company called Ucore, which is a rare metals company, building a facility out at England Air Park, and I was just curious what's kind of going on with that. We haven't heard much from them over the last 6 months or so.
Well, great question. Very timely. In fact, they recently gave an update to the England Air Park commissioners, and I had the opportunity to be there, and the project is still moving forward. In fact, they're moving in the first major piece of equipment. They've got their plant manager that's on board and here on the ground, and they're moving forward. And so this project is one that's certainly complicated because it's a major new industry sector for us here in America, and they're really competing, and it's going to be great for us. It's going to be great for Louisiana. It positions us quite well to be thought leaders in this new sector with the rare earth. It's a major part of the president's agenda.
Right.
That's certainly a focus for Governor Landry, and we've had a couple of these companies now announced in Louisiana. We had one of the first. And we fully believe they're going to be successful. So they're moving forward. People are on the ground, and it's going to continue to be a process to get fully operational.
Yeah, I read a report this morning. I don't think it has anything to do with UCOR, but that they found the largest deposit of lithium in, I think it's West Virginia.
Oh, wow.
That they say could provide enough lithium for our country for the next 3 centuries.
That's amazing. I did not see that. That's pretty incredible.
But the two things is mining it and then processing it. So,
and that's exactly what these guys do. I mean, it's their proprietary process. They believe they've got the right system in place that puts them ahead of their competitors because of the way and the speed with their methodology and their technology has really kind of put them in a competitive advantage.
Love it. Love it.
All right, one more time, tell us about the Rally Cenla event coming up and how people can sign up.
Yes, Rally the Region, and there is a rallying point. If you are interested in connecting with this generation, if you are an employer, if you're in part of an HR team, if you want to really connect and understand the strategies to really recruit and to connect with this generation of worker, you want to be at this event, Rally the Region. Mark Perna, you can look him up. He's going to be here Tuesday from 8 to 12 p.m., England Air Park Community Center.
All right.
And that's Tuesday the 11th.
Tuesday, May the 11th. Did I get that right?
The 12th, I'm sorry.
The 12th. Sorry.
Yep.
See, you got to correct me. See, it's still early in the morning. You guys are the professionals.
I didn't know either. I got it wrong when someone told me the correction.
The 11th is Monday. The
11th is Monday.
The 11th, you need to be signed up by then.
Yes, and it's free. You can register at rallycenlaw.com, and we look forward to seeing everybody on May the 12th, Tuesday,
May the 12th
at 8 a.m. to noon and it's it's a mini summit. So that's the way it's been structured. It's kind of a mini summit about upskilling, really addressing and putting together strategies on today's workforce.
Awesome stuff. All right. Chris Massengill with Louisiana Central, our guest here on Talkback. You need to come in more frequently.
I'd love to. Thank you for the invitation, Al. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing.
Open door.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Billy Nungesser coming up next.
KSYL.
If you've ever wanted to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and didn't know where to start, Janney King Gulf Coast has already built a foundation for you. With guaranteed initial customers, hands-on training, and ongoing local support, you'll never feel like you're doing it alone, because you won't be. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn their dreams into real successful businesses. Take the next step. Discover a business built for you at JanneyKingCleans.com.
Janney King, the king of clean.
Hey, check this out.
Okay.
It says here we get to vote on constitutional amendments on May 16th. Looks like Amendment 4 will finally phase out that inventory tax. So businesses don't pay that crazy tax on stuff stored in a warehouse or just on their store shelves. It'll create jobs, grow our economy, and help lower prices.
Well, I like lower prices. Now, look here at Constitutional Amendment 3. It will modernize things, restructure certain education funds to support teacher pay raises, and strengthen the teacher retirement fund without raising taxes. Amendments 3 and 4 are both great.
So we vote May 16th, or in early voting, yes on Amendment 3 for the teacher pay raise, and yes on Amendment 4 to cut the inventory tax, lowering prices and creating jobs.
Well, that's a no-brainer. Let's vote yes on 3 and 4.
Yes on 3 and 4. Now, let's go ahead and order. I'm so ready to eat.
Paid for by Cajun Pack 2.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu. and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
It's Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
And welcome back, everyone, here on Talkback on your Wednesday. Al Quartermont, Stephen Maxwell. And our next guest, no stranger to this program, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, as this week is National Travel and Tourism Week. And the Lieutenant Governor is doing just that today, traveling the state a little bit, including right here in central Louisiana. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, my friend. Good to be with you.
Yeah, great to have you. I know you're down in Lafayette this morning. You got a tourism breakfast. And then coming up this afternoon, right at noon, you've got a tourism luncheon.
Yeah, we are trying to make as many stops around the state to celebrate the great numbers in tourism for last year, but also to say thank you. Thank you to the hospitality workers, the CVVs, all their team, all the people that work in the hotels, the restaurants, the tour operators. It's those people and the way they treat people that we keep getting record numbers in tourism. We treat strangers like family, and they just keep coming back for more. So the people of Louisiana have a lot to be proud of in the way we treat people.
Oh, absolutely. And I heard on Louisiana Radio Network this morning, some of the numbers from last year. Was it 45 million people visited the state in 2025?
Yeah, and they spent $19 billion. Prior to COVID, we were the fourth biggest industry in 2019. Well, this year, we're back to the fourth biggest industry. We had slipped to number 5. But now tourism is an economic engine for this state and supports so many mom and pop businesses. And the thing I'm most proud of is that we are growing tourism all over Louisiana. We celebrate and we promote Mardi Gras, family-friendly, safe, affordable Mardi Gras in every town and city. We have a group that travels the country for sports tourism, bringing Olympic trials all over the state. And we've seen over 100 new hotels go up outside of New Orleans since the last 10 years, we've been promoting all parts of the state and driving tourism to every town and city. And I'm really proud of the teamwork we've done, working with the local folks to do that.
Yeah, you mentioned what you had to overcome from the COVID years. So to see it bounce back, I mean, that has to be really exciting and encouraging both.
It really is. And I tell you, we've suffered with the international market because of Canada wanting to make it the 51st state. They don't want to come. Some of the tariffs have affected other international visitors. But I just got back from the Lieutenant Governor's Conference, and Deputy Secretary O'Leary, who is the National Advisor on Travel and Tourism, expects 28, 29, and 30 to be great years for international visitors. Well, next year, we are hosting the IPW, which is the Super Bowl of tourism in New Orleans. And that's all the countries from around the world will be in New Orleans, and we'll be promoting all of Louisiana right before the international market is really expected to come back strong. So great opportunity for us to grow those international numbers.
Absolutely. And I know that you love getting those folks from all over the world here.
Well, the international visitors, they stay longer, they spend more money, and they don't just want to see New Orleans. They want to get off the beaten path and see how Americans live. And so we give them the opportunity to travel to many cities and towns throughout Louisiana and spend their money and see all we have to offer.
Billy Nungesser, Lieutenant Governor, is our guest here on Talkback. And as we mentioned, he's going to be here in town later today. It's a luncheon being hosted by Explore Alexandria Pineville. That's used to be known as the CVB. That's at noon over at the Pineville Community Center. So during the luncheon itself, is this just kind of the message you're going to be sharing with people?
Right. Katie and her team does a great job. I really want to thank them for their efforts year round, for their partnerships in all we do to promote Louisiana and bringing events and conferences to that region. They've done a great job. So we really just want to say thank you, talk about the future and how we can work together. We're looking forward to the Rose Parade this year, which has always been a big boost for our tourism. We get about 100 Louisiana families that come out and help us decorate that float. Anybody can sign up and come out there. It ought to be on everybody's bucket list. But that's a great opportunity to kick off the new year and really put Louisiana in the national, international light with that Rose Parade float each year.
Some big events that we always have here in Louisiana. I saw Joe Walsh from the Eagles was on Twitter pretty active talking about what a great time the band had in New Orleans for Jazz Fest. So that's kind of that free publicity that I'm sure you enjoy.
Yeah, we have a little room at Jazz Fest where we invite travel writers to come. They sit in the grandstands and they get to write about Jazz Fest. But we also get them to travel the state and go to all the fairs and festivals. We have 400 fairs and festivals. If you can eat it, drink it, shoot it, dance to it, we name a festival after it.
Even a moon pie.
You're right. And let me tell you, and we make sure to promote every one of them because those people work year-round. They don't get paid. Their love and passion for their festival, their community, they put so much effort and money into those fairs and festivals, and we get to use those festivals to draw people to Louisiana. So we should thank those families and those groups that put those on every year. Most states would die to have that kind of tool in their toolbox to promote their state, and we get to do it at no cost to the state.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we are just so fortunate to have those fairs and festivals to draw people to the state. It's been just a great tool for us to promote Louisiana. Every weekend, there's so much going on all over the state. Other states would die to have that kind of publicity.
Do we have a shot at another Super Bowl coming up soon?
I know they touted that. I think the Saints do that every time they want to re-sign their contract. But to be realistic, if you look at all the states building new stadiums, I know when they do that, they promise them a Super Bowl. So you're going to have to get in line when they already have committed to so many states to build new stadiums. When does that run out and make us eligible again? All the teams always say New Orleans is the best place to host it because everything's in walking distance. So hopefully we'll be in line for another one, but we're not waiting on that. The Olympic trials have really been good to all of Louisiana. We had volleyball in Shreveport. We had the Dizzy Dean World Series in Ruston. So our team traveling the country, bringing these smaller travel teams, Olympic trials all over Louisiana is really filling hotel rooms across the state.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, I know wrestling fans are still mad that WWE backed out of New Orleans to do Las Vegas. So they better make it up to you.
Yeah, I tell you, it's Vegas is a tough thing to compete with because they give so much away when you go there. Because the hotels put up so much to sponsor those things with all the casino money. It does make it tough to compete with, but I think it'll come back. I just don't know what year they're talking about bringing it back.
Yeah, I'm sure they will soon, hopefully. All right, let's let folks know again, coming up at noon today, it is the Alexandria Pineville Tourism Luncheon happening over at the Pineville Community Center. I'm not sure. Can people still get tickets for that event?
They can call the tourism office there. They hosting the lunch, so you'd have to ask them if they're sold out or not.
Okay, sounds good. Well, it'll be good having you up here today, and we appreciate your time. Thanks for calling in this morning.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
All right, thank you, sir. That's Billy Nungesser, our Lieutenant Governor. More talk back coming up.
KSYL. Leadership matters. In Pineville, Mayor Joe Bishop has focused on doing things the right way, being transparent, responsible, and accountable to the people he serves. That means making smart decisions, respecting taxpayer dollars, and showing up every day ready to do the job. No shortcuts, no special treatment. Just steady leadership you can trust. Let's keep Pineville moving forward. Vote Joe Bishop for mayor.
I'm Joe Bishop, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by the campaign to elect Joe Bishop.
Business owners, managers, and industrial leaders, this is your moment to shape the future of Central Louisiana. Join us for Rally the Region, a dynamic, free event bringing everyone together to strengthen our workforce and grow our economy, featuring nationally recognized speaker Mark Perna, delivering insights on building the talent pipeline your business needs to succeed. Happening Tuesday, May 12th from 8 to noon at the England Airport Community Center. Don't miss your seat at the table. Register now at rallysinlaw.com.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Sinlaw's best at Bricato's Restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Priceline just produced a list of the most up-and-coming destinations in the U.S. according to their website. You might be surprised what places, on a year-over-year basis, saw the greatest interest by folks looking to book trips. From America's #1 travel radio show, this is your Arm World Travel Minute. I'm Rudy Maxa. The top 5 were Kansas City, Missouri, Sarasota, Florida, Asheville, North Carolina, Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, and Fort Myers, Florida. Now, some of these destinations aren't major cities, but like Fort Myers, some may be gateways to popular regions. I fly to Fort Myers to go to Naples, Florida, for example, not to Fort Myers. The most popular U.S. destinations overall? As usual, Las Vegas and Orlando vie for top spot, followed by Chicago, Atlanta, Miami, and New York. And amid news reports about high airfares because of the cost of fuel, Priceline says a search of recent ticket data shows domestic airfares for Memorial Day are slightly up from last year, but international flights are seeing notable price drops. The moral? Book your summer international travel now. More travel info at armworldtravel.com.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
All right, it's been a busy morning on the show so far. Thanks again to Chris Massengill from Louisiana Central, talking about the event that's coming up next Tuesday. And then we had Billy Nungesser on talking about National Tourism Week. So a lot going on at 8:05. Jeff Powell will be calling in, and we'll be talking with him about the 13th check, as it's known. If you're a Rapides Parish
Sounds so ominous.
teacher, yeah, it's a lucky 13 check.
Yeah, right.
My goodness, over $9,000. Cha-ching.
How about, hey, let's get the college professors some of that money too.
Yeah.
Take care of the college professors.
We need a sales tax. You get a sales tax. Everybody gets a sales tax. No, we do it because we love it. All right,
but because Al, in his profession at the Baptist College, they just do a love offering. And I can make sure he gets an extra check.
For my students.
Or just like a little extra potluck or something.
Well, something for the effort.
Imagine passing a plate around the classroom. You get Sonic coupons or something.
Probably. Yeah, probably. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning. I don't know if y'all, Billy may have talked about it when he was on the radio. There's a show on PBS talking about the 64 Louisiana parishes. It's really well done. The travel lady who does the deal goes from town to town and in each of the parishes, and she does one parish per segment, a 30-minute show. I didn't know if he mentioned that or not, but it's really well done. I know we watched it maybe Monday night, and she was talking about Caddo Parish, and I'm from Caddo Parish, so a lot of things she talked about I didn't even know about, so really, really well done, but she's going to cover all 64 parishes in the state, so that's definitely going to help tourism in different areas, that's for sure. But I really enjoy your show. Thanks for what you do each and every day.
Yeah, thank you so much for mentioning that. And I just happened to look it up. The program is called LA64. If you go to lpb.org and just scroll down a little bit, you see the icon for it, and then you click on, and it's got all the episodes that they have on it. And the most recent one, Caddo Parish, as you mentioned, you know a little something about that place.
Yeah, I live there.
Yeah. They've done Franklin Parish back on April 20th. They did Rapides Parish. I'll have to watch that one. They've done Lafourche, St. Martin, Vermilion, Sabine. Just scrolling through. The first one looks like they did was St. Landry Parish.
I feel like there's some parishes like, ugh, what do we do?
Yeah.
How much time do you have to do?
Right. But I guarantee you that those are the parishes where you're going to find some like unique history, something that's interesting.
You know, I was talking to the principal over at Menard a couple of months ago, and it's amazing how many people are from here that we didn't, like, well-to-do, well-known people that
were
from here. We just don't remember because they have like their honorary alumni stuff.
Yeah,
like the OG founder of ExxonMobil went to Menard. The CEO of Dollar General was from Menard. Like, just all these random people that are just really well-to-do.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That series is hosted by Karen LeBlanc, is her name. She's apparently a Louisiana native.
That's LPB?
Yeah, if you go to lpb.org, they've got it right there. Takes viewers beyond the familiar, uncovering hidden gems, local traditions, remarkable architecture, and the cultural threads that connect every corner of the state.
I haven't watched LPB in a minute.
Right. But you can watch online.
That'd be pretty cool. I'll have to check it out. I'm curious about the Rapides one.
Yeah.
Avoyelles ought to be fun. Plenty to do there.
You know that. Wilbert will hook them up if they go through him.
We'll be going everywhere there.
As we heard yesterday, listening to your segment with him. So, did you get a chance yesterday at all to watch the debate with Julia Latlow and John Fleming?
I did not. How'd that go?
It was interesting. They took about 90 minutes, so that was good. They had plenty of time to explore a lot of topics. And it was Moon was co-hosting along with a gentleman from your neck of the woods up there, but from KTBS.
Okay. Is he an older gentleman?
Let's see if I can find it.
Their politics reporter has been doing it quite some time.
Yeah, he probably looked like he was in his 40s or 50s.
Oh, then it must have been Dan, I think.
What's his last name?
I can't remember. But they're a husband and wife anchor team.
Oh, really? Okay.
K-Tall. No. Oh, no, that's KTBS.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me see if I can find it.
What was it, like an argument? Who was the least conservative or something?
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. The interesting thing is they really didn't talk a whole lot about Bill Cassidy. And even
probably
Moon,
smart.
Yeah, Moon kind of brought that up at one point, saying, I thought he would have gone more after him. But they kind of did shoot at each other quite a bit, which I thought was interesting. And in the second hour, I'll play some clips. We don't have enough time to do it right now, but I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty fair. I thought the questions asked were appropriate. Probably the two things that they went at each other about was Fleming talking about the DEI stuff with Letlow and her kind of defending herself on that. And then apparently Fleming has been working for a group that is also a lobbyist organization. He said he's been doing it on behalf of Barksdale and some of the interests up in Bossier Parish, but Letlow was trying to make hay with that. Not sure it landed, but she was trying. So I think my takeaway from it was, if you're not a Cassidy fan, either one of these two would probably be better, but it's really more kind of a matter of preference at this point, which one you would like. The only thing I will say about Letlow is so many times her answers just sound very scripted, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Fleming has a lot more experience in the politics and the ad-libbing and such. And going back to Cassidy, like, no matter what you think about him or anything, there is no way in heck, HE double hockey sticks, that I would go on a debate show with Moon Gravano if I was Bill Cassidy.
Since he calls him Psycho Bill?
Yeah, like, there's just no way. I wish it would have been more of a a neutral moderator.
Yeah.
So all three could go, but he may not have won either. Who knows?
I mean, Moon insists that he would have been fair.
Okay. Yeah, but like, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But saying that, I don't even know if Bill would go on again.
Yeah. We should host him on this show.
I would love to.
All right, open invitation, all three candidates. Next week, let us know. You pick the time.
Be the chillest debate ever.
Really. All right, we got much more coming up in hour 2. Stay with us.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3 HD3, Alexandria. It's 8 o'clock.
An offer to Iran and a warning. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump wrote that on Truth Social this morning that if Iran does not agree to a potential deal being worked out, the bombing will resume at a much higher level and intensity than before. This after another.
The president writing, quote, assuming Iran agrees to give what has been agreed to, which is perhaps a big assumption, the already legendary Epic Fury will be at an end, and the highly effective blockade will allow the Hormuz Strait to be open to all, including Iran.
This after President Trump put Project Freedom on hold. It had just started Monday to give stranded ships U.S. military escorts. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson also reports from Dubai.
It appears any potential deal hinges on Iran suspending its nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. So the blockade on Iranian ports continues. Over 1,500 ships remain stuck in the Persian Gulf, including oil tankers and ships carrying fertilizer for our farmers.
This potential deal with Iran has oil prices plunging. They were down 11% at one point, now down by 7% at the gas pump, though another nickel added to that price today. AAA's national average for regular $4.53 per gallon. They're in mourning in Oklahoma. One of the people shot when masked gunmen attacked a party Sunday night at Lake Arcadia in Edmond has died. She was an 18-year-old who'd been in critical condition. 22 others were injured as the manhunt for those shooters continues. Now to primary results.
We will deliver you lower costs, bigger paychecks, and better schools.
That's Vivek Ramaswamy, who won the Republican race for governor in Ohio a few years after running for president. He'll face Democrat Amy Acton.
People in this state are struggling.
In another Ohio Democratic primary, Sherrod Brown won as he tries to return to the Senate, attempting to unseat Republican Senator John Husted. Speaking of unseating, 5 Republican state senators in Indiana were primaried out, beaten by Trump-backed Republicans after the president targeted them for joining Democrats blocking a congressional redistricting plan to help the GOP in November. Another incumbent senator won a 7th, too close to call. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hand.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
Around the same time, President Trump posted his warning to Iran about agreeing to a deal or else. He also wrote this morning about the White House ballroom still under construction despite legal challenges.
The president calls it fake news to say there are cost overruns with the ballroom project, writing on Truth Social. The only reason the cost has changed is because after deep-rooted studies, it is approximately twice the size and of far higher quality than the original proposal, which would not have been adequate to handle the necessary events, meetings, and even future inaugurations. The original price, he writes, was $200 million. The double-sized, highest quality completed project will be something less than $400 million. Since the project's being paid for with private money, Senate Republicans have proposed an additional $1 billion in taxpayer funding for further security enhancements, tacking that onto their immigration and border enforcement funding bill. Chris Foster, Fox News.
A cruise ship is still stuck at sea off the West African coast with something deadly and contagious on board, the hantavirus, blamed for killing 3 passengers, a strain that can spread person to person, so the ship can't find a port willing to let them dock.
The plan was for the cruise ship to head to Spain's Canary Islands, but the government there is pushing back against the idea.
However, we are learning that 3 sick passengers have now been evacuated to the Netherlands for treatment. There's also some reporting that authorities in Switzerland say a man who returned from South America and traveled on the MV Hyundaius tested positive for hantavirus. Now, at the moment, of the 8 suspected cases, 3 have died. As for the rest of the nearly 150 passengers, including 17 Americans, well, they remain stuck on board, and they've been mostly confined to their rooms.
That's Fox's Jeff Paul. We mentioned oil prices plunging. Stock futures are surging on Wall Street, more than 400 points for the Dow, 300 plus for the NASDAQ, which also had surged yesterday to a record high. In the NBA, the defending champion Thunder remain undefeated in the playoffs. Oklahoma City beat the LA Lakers 108-90 to start their series. Detroit topped Cleveland 111-101 in game 1 of that series. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Louisiana Radio Network News, I'm Michelle Southern. A bill proposing pay raises for Louisiana elected officials advances out of House appropriations. The measure would increase the governor's salary from $130,000 to $182,000 starting in 2028. Bruce Riley, who's with a grassroots organization called Voice of the Experience, objects to this bill, calling the increase overboard.
I don't know, with people moving out of state, with toxic chemicals polluting our air, with education going the way it's going, I feel like even if those things were going great, $83,000 is a lot to give a raise to your governor.
The legislation is authored by Harahan Representative John Ilg, who says elected officials haven't had a raise in 20 years.
This isn't something I took lightly in doing. I know it's a hardship for many of us and the ways people would portray it, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to solve a problem. I don't want to continue to kick it down the road.
The measure now heads to the House floor. Louisiana Radio Network News, LouisianaRadioNetwork.com. John Fleming and Julia Letlow each claim to be the most conservative candidate during the Moon Griffon U.S. Senate radio debate Tuesday.
Fleming says he's the true conservative in the race.
We got 2 liberals in this race. Their voting records speak for themselves, and you got 1 conservative.
Letlow responded.
I am conservative to the core.
Fleming accused Letlow of previously supporting Democratic-sponsored DEI initiatives, and she only recently changed her position.
So she's opposed to DEI when she's running for office, but any other time she's...
For the last 5 years?
Letlow reminded voters that even though Fleming served in President Trump's first administration, he didn't get his endorsement, while she got it before she entered the race.
My opponent was running for 13 months and couldn't get in touch with the president. That tells you all you need to know.
I'm Jeff Palermo.
Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser is out this week touting Louisiana tourism.
We're seeing more and more people traveling to Louisiana, going to Mardi Gras celebrations all over the state. Plus, we've marketed the over 400 fair and festivals, which get people moving all over Louisiana, not just the big cities.
He says 45 million people visited Louisiana in 2025. Michelle Southern, LRN.
Woodman Life reinvests in our communities through donations, volunteering, and supporting local programs. Our people and places are at the heart of everything we do. Get your life insurance quote at woodmanlife.org. Woodman Life is the brand name for Women of the World Life Insurance Society in Omaha, Nebraska. Ad number 80137.
Cloudy skies in our forecast overnight, 72, the early morning low. Our Wednesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and a few of those could be severe with damaging winds and possibility of some hail. Afternoon highs, 84, that chance of rain about a 40% chance. Chance of rain up to an 80% chance on Wednesday night with the possibility again of some severe weather. Overnight lows near 60. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson. It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
All right, welcome back on Talkback, hour number 2. Stephen and Al with you here this morning. Glad you could be with us. Thought for the day comes from Twitter. Raising teenagers is fun if you want someone to think you're the dumbest human being alive while simultaneously needing your help to do pretty much anything. That's so true.
Wow.
I like that one.
I'm not going to lie. I have no idea what you just said. I was texting our guest. I think that's him calling. I don't know what to say.
He just made our point, didn't he? All right, let's go to the phones. We'll get back to that later. Good morning. Jeff Powell joins us. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning, Al. Good morning, Stephen. Great. How are y'all doing this morning?
Doing well. Making it.
I'm not going to make any comments about the raising teenagers quote there.
You and I can probably more relate to that than Stephen can at this stage. So.
The good thing about parenting is, you can make some mistakes with the first couple and you just keep trying different things.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, absolutely. But the older ones will let you remember your mistakes over and over again.
Absolutely. Yeah, they have no problem doing that. Absolutely.
And then tell us how we spoiled the young ones.
That's what you get for having both of y'all for having 50 of them each. So.
Well, it just. Yeah, I won't say anything about that.
Yeah,
sorry.
We both marry pretty wives, so what can we say?
That's right. What can we say?
All right, Jeff Powell, Superintendent, Rapides Parish Schools. I imagine if you're a school teacher in Rapides Parish, you're waking up today with a smile on your face. I would hope, anyway.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of joy around the Rapides Parish this morning.
Yeah, and what we're talking about is yesterday the school board approved the distribution of the taxes that come from the 1967 and 87 sales tax funds. Not a bad little check. The 13th check this year will be $9,110.
For our positions that require a degree and $4,555 for those that do not.
Right. So that's a pretty nice chunk of change.
Yeah, and it's funny. I've kind of been watching some of the employees post, especially those that have both spouses work for the school system. So
wow.
You double that for those, and it was a pretty nice evening last night to get that information.
I mean, that is, you talk about an impactful amount of money.
Yeah.
If you're planning vacation for this summer, I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, I think, and one of the things, we like to remind folks is, obviously we're very thankful that the voters in Rapides Parish, dating all the way back to 1967 and 1987 for sure. And then really as recently as 2016, because we do another distribution in the fall before Christmas that's related to the 2016 distribution. So for those that may not know, what this is about is, some of the sales tax that you pay when you go buy a soda at, Circle K, some of that tax, goes to help the sheriff. Some of it goes to help the schools. And when those taxes were initially passed, they were passed for very specific pay raises for school board employees. For instance, the 2016 one, which isn't part of this check, but it's the one most of us were here for that. It gave an 8.5% pay raise at the time to school board employees. So every year when those taxes are collected, obviously, the first chunk of it goes towards covering the 8.5% pay raise from 2016. Well, what the board decided with the additional funds, they have no options as far as you can't do something else with those funds. Dedicated funds to teacher salaries and benefits. And so what the only thing the board has to decide is, okay, how are we going to distribute the excess collections? And they do it in a one-time lump sum payment. In this case, we call the 13th check based on how the 1967 and 1987 taxes were approved. And so that's where you come up with this check that some call it a bonus, but we don't do bonuses in government pay. So it is the excess sales tax collection check.
Well, it feels like a bonus to me. If I were a teacher, I would think that too. So no, that's great. That's great news that you can give that to them, and hopefully they're appreciative of that fact. So one other thing I wanted to ask you about, I know you made a Facebook post the other day in support of Amendment number 3, which people will be voting on if they're early voting now or if they show up at the polls on May 16th. But this is the one that has to do with taking money from several different accounts and putting it toward the teacher retirement debt that the state currently is trying to work out, which puts the onus on a lot of local school districts like yourselves. You've spoken on this before, but tell us again kind of your thoughts on this.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to be very clear, Al, as you stated, I did post on my personal social media account, my thoughts as an educator, a voter, and, that I am in support of it. Obviously, as the superintendent of schools, I can't tell anybody how to vote or anything like that. But I do ask people to be knowledgeable of what they're voting for. And for those that have followed my social media posts, you'll notice that I don't engage. So people ask questions on there, but I'm happy to answer those questions here online, on live with you guys on radio. So for instance, some are concerned about, well, they're taking the money out of these constitutionally protected funds. And as I've stated on your radio show before, we get money. We get about $720. I'm looking at the paper right now that came from the state. We get about $760,000 from those two funds. And what the state has projected is, with the amount of money that we're going to save each year from paying down this debt, that we no longer have to send this money back to the state, it will be more than enough to cover that offsetting amount. So in other words, we're going to, after we pay the pay increase for teachers, we're still going to have $1 million in savings, and that $1 million will be more than the $760,000 to cover the loss of the EEF and the 8G fund. So one particular listener to your show who's put stuff on there, I could tell them that the early childhood amount that we get is $247,000 a year typically. There will be no decrease in our early child care programming. We have funding to cover that. The Excellence in Education funds help some of the other supplemental programs that we already have things in place to make sure that we do not decrease in that. So, as superintendent, I will tell you from the information that we have been given, there will be no decrease in funding. For those that are acting like that there is some kind of harm being done to the retirement system for this, that is as most misinformation, false information, wrong information as can be peddled. It is literally paying down debt just like you would a credit card. It's not taken from somebody's retirement money. It's paying down debt that was accrued when at some point way in the past, somebody allowed people to draw from teacher retirement who had not paid into teacher retirement. So, it's not my debt. It's not your debt, but it is debt that we're having to use our general fund money to pay back down. So it's just good fiscal responsibility.
Do you think people are just skeptical anytime they're dealing with things that are coming from the state government? Is that what it is? Because it does seem like, people are just, the way they're voicing it, they're just not trusting of this.
Yeah, if you look on social media, I have identified, I think there's basically two main posts that people keep sharing. And one of them is a long, 7, 8, 9 paragraphs. And when you read it, there's nothing really of substance other than people are mad because, well, we were promised a permanent pay raise in 23 and they gave us a stipend. We were promised a permanent pay raise in 24 and they gave us a stipend. Well, now instead of doing that, they're saying we've got to vote to get the permanent. Like, okay, that's all true, but is it a real reason not to do it? Are you just mad because you don't trust government? But, at the end of the day, it's still the right thing to do. That doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do. And then the other one that's getting passed around seems to be this false notion about it hurting the retirement system. And so, I don't understand how people can believe and follow after, some random person's post that's mad and just think we should vote against it because it came out of, the governor's office, or because it came out of this, or because they don't think we need to change the Constitution at all. Or, honestly, I don't understand, Al, to be frank.
Sure. Well, we'll see how the vote goes, but I appreciate that you were willing to share your thoughts on that. And I did notice, like you said, you don't engage with the comments. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Well, and it is, even though people, most people know my position, I do try to separate in a lot of ways my personal social media from the work side. But if anybody wants to email me directly a question, I'm happy to answer that as the superintendent. But I'm not going to answer as superintendent from my personal social media account.
Sure. Yeah. Very wise. Very wise. Okay. All right. So again, just to recap for folks, if you were just tuning in, we've been talking with Superintendent Jeff Powell, talking about the news yesterday how the school board has approved the distribution of sales tax funds and what's known as the 13th check. If you have a degree, you'll be getting $9,110. So that covers your teachers, basically. Those in positions that don't require a degree get $4,555. Not too shabby, as they say. So, all right, Jeff, thank you so much. We appreciate you being with us today.
Always, guys, anytime.
All right, we'll talk with you in a couple weeks. Jeff Powell, Rapides Parish Superintendent, our guest here on Talkback. More coming up.
KSYL.
Tired of that same plumbing issue? Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Plumbing problems, large or small, Southern Air will fix them all. And you'll get service with no delay from certified technicians the very same day. Take advantage of our $99 drain clearing special and our 0% financing for those larger jobs. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com. The official heating and cooling provider for LSU football. Business owners, managers, and industrial leaders, this is your moment to shape the future of Central Louisiana. Join us for Rally the Region, a dynamic, free event bringing everyone together to strengthen our workforce and grow our economy, featuring nationally recognized speaker Mark Perna, delivering insights on building the talent pipeline your business needs to succeed. Happening Tuesday, May 12th from 8 to noon at the England Airport Community Center. Don't miss your seat at the table. Register now at rallysinlaw.com.
At Trinity Health Pace Alexandria, we listen first, then bring the right care to you. From medical care and social activities at our center to home care, transportation, and more. We help seniors stay healthy, independent, and connected to what they love. From empathy to expertise, we see all of you. Call 318-206-1020. That's 318-206-1020. Or visit thpace-alexandria.org to learn more about Trinity Health Pace Alexandria.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
Yeah, look, I mean, my hope for America is what it's always been. I think it's a hope I hope we all share. We want it to continue to be the place where anyone from anywhere can achieve anything, where you're not limited by the circumstances of your birth, by the color of your skin, by your ethnicity, but frankly, it's a place where you are able to overcome challenges and achieve your full potential. I think that should be the goal of every country in the world, frankly, but I think in the U.S., we're not perfect. Our history is not one of perfection, but it's still better than anybody else's history, and ours is a story of perpetual improvement. Each generation has left the next generation of Americans freer, more prosperous, safer, and that is our goal as well. But it is a unique and exceptional country, and as we come upon this 250-year anniversary, I think we have a lot to learn and be proud of in our history. It is one of perpetual and continuous improvement, where each generation has done its part to bring us closer to fulfilling the vision that the founders of this country had upon its founding.
That is Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State. Yesterday, he was in the White House press briefing room, filling in for the now on maternity leave, Carolyn Levitt, and he just fielded questions. And I don't know if you had a chance to see any of it, but did an amazing job.
I saw something about the Pope in Iran, the kind of feud they're having there, and he answered that. That's the only clip that I've seen so far, but he'd be a good one to do that for a living.
He is actually going to be traveling to meet with the Pope tomorrow, I believe.
Yes. Should be pretty soon.
Yeah. And people are starting to say, you know, Rubio might be the next presidential candidate for the Republicans. Rubio or Vance seem to be the two favorites, but DJ Rubio. He DJ'd at a wedding or something the other day.
Oh, did he?
And somebody asked him yesterday what his DJ name is, and he said he can't tell you.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, he's one of the more talented politicians out there, and probably the more qualified of anyone else I could name, to be honest with you, even over Vance, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that all plays out, but we do have 2.5 more years, essentially, of the Trump administration as well. Yesterday was also an election day in Indiana and Ohio. If you didn't hear, Vivek Ramaswamy swept his way in the GOP primary. He won every single county in Ohio. So a massive win for Vivek Ramaswamy. And then in Indiana, there were, I think, 5 of the GOP state representatives who balked at doing the redistricting map. They all lost. So people are saying Meg is dead. Maybe not quite yet. Maybe not quite yet.
I think the tit for tat over who's going to gerrymander the most is kind of getting out of hand, too.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of solution moving forward with this.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, and I mean, people have been sharing, there's a graphic that's been going around how if you take states like Massachusetts, Connecticut, Maine, New Mexico, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont, Hawaii, Delaware, all of those states have somewhere between 32 to 46% of the population Republican, with exactly 0 seats that are represented by Republicans. So when we talk about gerrymandering, they've been doing it for a while.
Well, it's the politics changes so much,
That's
especially
true.
in some of those states.
Yeah. I'd
Maybe not
love to
Massachusetts.
and we've talked about it. I'd love to see just some way that districts can be set up where, you know what, the people that have the best ideas and run the best campaigns actually win. But I might be living in a in a utopian mindset in my head on that one.
Yeah, it's on one hand we have socialists, on the other hand we have a problem with corporatism. So
Yeah.
we're just having other people influence our politics.
And there was also a debate with the California candidates for governor yesterday, and I thought that was really interesting, watching just some of the comments that were being made during that one. And Steve Hilton, I thought, looked phenomenal actually yesterday. So
You know, I have no idea what's going on over in California. Is it Steve Hilton, the Republican?
yes, him, and then there's a sheriff also. And
who's the front runner of the whole race?
I'm not actually sure. I'd have to look that up. But I know the Republicans have been doing pretty well, because that's why Swalwell kind of got pushed out of the race, was they were worried that he would split too many of the Democrat votes and you might get 2 Republicans into a runoff. So we'll see. But it was interesting. I thought Hilton, from just the clips I saw, really made a lot of sense. And, you know, especially on why California is the highest costing state in the country. He was making the point that, you know, you can bash on Trump, but the reality is California has been way too expensive for, you know, predating Trump. And he's right on that.
Yeah, who said that it wasn't? It's been like that
Democrats.
forever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all the rich people live.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go to the phones on the BON Bank Talk Line. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. Stephen said that we shouldn't do the tit for tat on the gerrymandering, but this is not a tit for tat. This is a major correction. And that's one thing the Democrats have been doing for generations. They work hard to leverage some advantage, and then when the Republicans move to correct it, let's have to go back and forth, back and forth. You know, this is a major correction. You listed those states. I had a picture of them because I was going to call in with that list. And that is a massive suppression of representation for half of the population of those states. So this tit for tat, what they did in Texas, they were correcting problems that the Census Bureau admitted they made in the last census. So this isn't a tit for tat. The Republicans clawing back these seats are just righting the ship. The ship has been leaning way over to the left or about to go over. But I was actually calling to ask you, Al, about something you said last week near the end of the week. And anytime I disagree with you or Stephen or any of the callers, I try to check myself and think through my position before I say something. But you said you were talking about the 2-party system, and you made the comment that said, to a caller, you said, yes, it hasn't served us very well. Do you remember saying that?
Probably, yeah.
It was Friday. Anyways, it got me to thinking. And I'm thinking, I understand we've had problems, but I think our problems have come more from the moral flaws of the people involved more than the system. Our founders wanted us to have no parties, but we know that fell apart fast because it's our nature to group together with people we share things with. And when you have no parties, then one very powerful, charismatic person gains control of a few minions and you have an oligarchy. I think our founders wanted a division of power, and I think the two parties, which we're not a two party, we have a bunch of parties. When you go to vote, you'll see the Green Party, the Libertarian, you'll see a bunch of parties. But we have two major parties. And is there a system better? I mean, when I look at England with their parliament, I don't see it that they can have a vote of no confidence, and then they have to start building coalitions. Israel the same way with their Knesset. So what did you mean by that?
I mean, when you really look at it and think through, especially recent times, I mean, we just see it has become so polarized that
it has.
I don't know, just nothing really positive seems to get done. And I think
it's our nature. It's our nature to be polarized, though, when we feel threatened.
Yeah.
So, before LBJ, I firmly believe the two parties were patriotic and they loved America. Now I see a shift to the left, where the left, the Democrats, there are many of I'm not saying the rank and file. Mm-hmm. I'm saying the talking heads. They are anti-America. Cuomo, when was America ever really great? That statement should have reverberated through the country as almost a call to arms. I don't want to be violent, but most Americans should have bowed up, like I thought in my mind, and said, "Hey, this is the greatest country the world has ever known. We have the highest standard of living no humans have ever enjoyed." So I would like somebody to make him explain himself. So is there a system you see that would be better than the two-party system for dividing power and for keeping representation at least close to the people?
I mean, I'd have to think more on that. I don't know that I've given it that much thought, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that statement shocked me when you said it, because it started me to thinking, okay, well,
you're on the air for
why?
15 hours a week. You're going to make one or two comments that might not line up with you perfectly. So I apologize for that if it happens.
There's no apology necessary. You're going
to have to go over George Washington too. He said what Al said, basically.
Yeah, that's right. I'm on George's side.
He did, and I think that was one of the things he got wrong. I said, don't say this lightly, because that man was great. But in the absence of parties, there will be people like George Washington who have a personal charisma in themselves, and they will gain power, just like the Longs in this state. We've seen it over and over. Whereas with two parties, then they can only capture one party. We still have another party that is, by definition, against them. Anyways, I know I'm over the break. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for letting me speak my piece.
All right.
Did you say you don't want parties at all? I think you just said you don't want two. You'd like for there to be other options. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, do we think that the two-party system has served us well?
Well, and I want to go back. Yeah, and I want to go back to the map drawing and the gerrymandering thing. Like I've said time and time again, everyone's talking about the different parties and the ratios in these states and stuff. Louisiana's ratio of Democrat and Republican is almost like 50-50. I think Republicans now have more registered voters in Louisiana for the first time in God knows how long.
Yeah.
But that's not how they vote at all.
Right.
So that's just a dumb way, in my opinion, to go about it too.
Yeah.
And we all know, I mean, this isn't saying Democrats have been the best map drawers on planet Earth. It's right now an obvious tit for tat over we're all going to just gerrymander it to help us out in the upcoming election.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's the best way to do it.
Right.
And whether it's a correction or not, we should probably come up with at least a better system of doing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
When you have two choices, I guess that's what you're going to get.
Right. All right, we need to take a break. More coming up.
KSYL.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Advanced Micro Devices delivered a strong forecast for the current period. AMD, the second biggest maker of computer processors, showed it's cashing in on the flood of AI spending. The company says its second quarter sales will be $11.2 billion, plus or minus $300 million. That compares with an average analyst prediction of $10.5 billion, according to data compiled by Bloomberg. The outlook shows that AMD is winning orders from the biggest spenders on artificial intelligence computing. Meanwhile, meal kit maker HelloFresh has been shaking up its strategy, prioritizing customer loyalty over volume. Investing in product innovation helped the company's earnings top Wall Street's expectations. However, revenue in the first quarter took a hit from the severe winter storms that drove up customer refunds. Investors are optimistic that the U.S. and Iran are nearing a peace deal. According to Axios, the White House believes that it's getting closer to an agreement, and that has market futures pointing to a higher open this morning. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
Need office supplies, janitorial supplies, or office furniture, either new or pre-owned? Then look no further than DTW Office Supply, with wholesale prices on a large selection of top quality products, all with the personalized hometown service that you deserve. We're proud to serve the entire state of Louisiana with daily deliveries right to your door. Visit us today at 1219 MacArthur Drive or online at dtwofficesupply.com. That's DTW Office Supply, your trusted partner for all of your office needs. Quality, value, service.
Hey, check this out.
Okay.
It says here we get to vote on constitutional amendments on May 16th. Looks like Amendment 4 will finally phase out that inventory tax, so businesses don't pay that crazy tax on stuff stored in a warehouse or just on their store shelves. It'll create jobs, grow our economy, and help lower prices.
Well, I like lower prices. Now, look here at Constitutional Amendment 3. It will modernize things, restructure certain education funds to support teacher pay raises, and strengthen the teacher retirement fund without raising taxes. Amendments 3 and 4 are both great.
So we vote May 16th, or in early voting, yes on Amendment 3 for the teacher pay raise, and yes on Amendment 4 to cut the inventory tax, lowering prices and creating jobs.
Well, that's a no-brainer. Let's vote yes on 3 and 4.
Yes on 3 and 4. Now, let's go ahead and order. I'm so ready to eat.
Paid for by Cajun Pack 2.
It's Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
Mr. Hilton, go ahead.
It's not Donald Trump who's given us gas prices $2 higher than the rest of the country. It's Democrat policies, which Antonio and all the Democrats here support. It's not Donald Trump that's given us the highest housing costs in the country. It's Democrat policies that all these Democrats support. Donald Trump is the president in all the other states of America where the cost of living is way lower than in California. Obviously, it is way past time for change in California, and endlessly going on about Donald Trump doesn't serve the needs of the struggling families and small businesses.
Can you say whether or not?
All right, that was last night's gubernatorial debate that they actually held on CNN, of all places. Steve Hilton. Yeah, Steve Hilton. I was going to say Steve Irwin. Steve Hilton.
It's because the accent.
Yeah. Crikey. That's 100% what he just said there. So he'll probably be leading on election day, and then they'll have all the harvested ballots come in, and he'll lose.
Well, if he loses in California, it's probably because there's just a bajillion liberals in California.
That's true. Yeah. Crazy stuff. Crazy. I tell you.
Wild and look, maybe it's not the two-party system, Al. It's that we allow people to buy our party leaders. It's the people with money controlling the narrative in different organizations. Buying our politics. I think that's one of the most egregious things we've allowed in this country.
I can't disagree with you on that. That's an excellent point, actually. So, all right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Yeah, first of all, the parties serve for themselves, not for the voters.
Okay.
Parties exist to gain their power for themselves, not the voters. Second of all, money and favors and politics has been around since our first election.
Sure.
George Washington gave out free beer to those who voted for him. So money and money influence. Yeah, look it up. I mean, this isn't a John Williams thing. This is actual toward Mount Vernon. They talked about it. But I wanted to call in about Dr. Powell. And obviously he didn't take questions. So, this 13th check, he said it, is excess taxation from a 1967, 1987, and 2016 sales tax approval. So if we as citizens are paying excess taxes, why don't we get those taxes back? Obviously, they're not needed. See, this is the thing when people ask for more money for education through sales tax, people are skeptical because when it actually comes out, they say the 67 sales tax is for a specific reason. Oh, well, wait, it's too much, so we have to give it back to the teachers. Well, no, we voted on it for this specific reason. Oh, in 87, we voted on it for this specific reason. Oh, well, there's excess, so we're going to give it away. 2016, we voted on for this specific reason. Oh, well, there's excess. So if there's excess taxation, That is, by definition, proof that citizens are paying too much taxes. Second of all, about this amendment that he was promoting, he said it based on state projections. This will balance. Now, has the state ever been wrong on their financial projections? Would you say 50% of the time they're wrong, or more or less than 50?
I don't have data on their accuracy, but I would just guess you're probably right.
So he wants us to vote on a constitutional amendment where the odds that the state projection is at best a 50-50 chance. It doesn't seem like good policy to me.
That's fair. And I'm seeing more and more pushback. I think they're going to, we saw the last time there were amendments on the ballot that people just categorically voted against them. And I don't know that I see a lot of sentiment from people to want to vote for them now.
Well, it's interesting, that inventory tax deal. It's not just inventory, it's inventory and equipment. So the equipment in your building will be taxed. So, but it doesn't say will, it says can or could.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's conditional. So a friend of mine told me that they had called the sheriff's department, the police jury, and the city council and asked their stance on would they, here in this local community, eliminate the interview tax. And they wouldn't commit to it. So I really didn't believe them. So I called the taxing authorities and said, simple question, hey, if this amendment passes, will you eliminate the inventory tax for this taxing district? And they go, well, we can't commit to that till we know if it passes or not. So in other words, they're pulling a Pelosi. You can't really tell you what's in the bill till it passes.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
This is all smoke and mirrors. And it's hard to vote in smoke and mirrors when reflection in the past has been a lie. So, I don't see how anybody could trust. I know Dr. Powell wants to give his teachers raises and gives them bonuses, which it seems he's more concerned about the teachers in his district than he is the students. But that's just a personal opinion.
All right. Well, that's what this show is for. So,
but I got a question real quick. Are the dump trucks still speeding on Bayou Rapides roads? Because I hadn't heard that guy call in today, and I know it's a concern of everybody in the parish.
I don't know. Stephen, you were going to say something?
Oh, no. I'm just trying to get it correct in my head. Didn't the voters vote back in the day that excessive sales tax would go to Eastbound? That's what he was saying. So I think that was voted on.
No, Stephen, that's incorrect. It can't be spent on anything else other than education. So the school board determined that they would do it as a 13th check.
Gotcha. Okay.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for your thoughts as always. We appreciate you.
I guess you got to see both sides too. It's like we have a hard time keeping teachers in the system. And so there's got to be some sort of incentive, I guess. And, they already are having issues with the amount that they're getting paid. So I guess it's a competitive thing too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or we just get rid of public schools. The other option if we have teachers.
All right. We'll be right back.
KSYL.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Starting a business shouldn't feel overwhelming. At Janican Gulf Coast, we give you a clear, proven path to ownership. You receive guaranteed initial counts, local support, and the training you need to succeed from day one. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn steady careers into thriving businesses, and you could be next. Start your journey today at JannyKingCleans.com.
Jenny King, the king of clean.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry
This Wednesday morning, just to address one thing that last caller said. Now, but anytime we have Jeff Powell on the show, he's always willing to take calls. We didn't really solicit them for that interview because we're just trying to keep it on point for that one topic. But if you'd like to call him and ask about that sales tax, then I'm sure he would do that. Okay, I mentioned a couple times.
It was a last minute interview. I texted him this morning.
Yeah. Which, we're just trying to help explain what's going on. So we had the debate yesterday, Letlow against Fleming on the Moon Griffon show. And I thought it was interesting. I thought it was substantive. And one of the issues that came up was Letlow's past with DEI. Take a listen.
All right, next question for Congresswoman Letlow. Opponents have attacked you over pointing out your record in Congress.
Not only infiltrate in higher education when the left hijacked it, but it also that radicalism went down into our K through 12 systems. Parents should always be able to fight back in that regard in a legal manner. I've sponsored the End Woke in Higher Education Act. I actually authored the Dismantle DEI. I stripped DEI out of our military. Senator Cassidy voted for that. So I will continue leading that effort to fight against DEI, and we'll continue moving that forward in the Senate as well.
DEI has never been a mainstream idea. It's always been a left-wing Marxist idea, critical theory. This is what socialist, communist, Marxists do. This is their thing. It's never been anything other than that. Julia notoriously said while she was applying for a job at the University of Louisiana Monroe, said that we don't have enough DEI there, and that we need a whole division of DEI at the university. Now, of course, since she's been in Congress, she says she's been against it. Well, she actually voted against an amendment in 2023 for the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, HR 3935. She voted against removing DEI from the FAA. So obviously she's still for it, even though maybe now that she's running for office, she's against it. Who knows?
Again, my record speaks for itself here. And go look at all of the legislation that I've co-sponsored, all of the legislation that I've authored. I saw it firsthand. I saw what the left did to it. They took it and made it into something it was never meant to be. They hijacked it, indoctrinating our kids. I'm a mom at heart. I'm a mama bear. I want to make sure that my kids are not being indoctrinated, especially in our public school system. I mean, we all saw what happened during COVID. For the first time, moms and dads were sitting down seeing what their children are being taught, and they did not like the curriculum. So,
all right. that was her answer on that.
Politics must be like, being a politician must be like awesome fun and this. Why would you put up with this? And it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Like it's serving and everything. It
Right.
just kind of seems to be.
Yeah. All right, let's go to another call. Good morning.
Hey, how are y'all doing this morning?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Been a minute again. This is FedEx Sam,
Yes, sir.
just in case. That I think we can all agree on this one. I recently renewed my registration for 2 different vehicles. One is from 2003. One is from 2010. I'm a fan of driving older cars. I don't mind their age. I just appreciate that there's no note left on them. What I had realized, though, is that when they assess the cost of your registration, it's based upon the sales price of your car. And that's the original sales price. So I am still being charged a registration based on the price I paid for these cars back in 2003 and 2010, respectively, with no regard for the depreciation of vehicles. The 2010 one, the state believes that the car is worth about $33,000 right now, which I'll take that if you can find me that buyer. But
yes,
I don't think it's a fair system. I think people with older cars who are saving and people who are not interested in keeping car notes are disproportionately, as a result, paying more to the Louisiana DMV. And I think it's a quick email to fire off to our representatives to address this issue and to try to get that fixed. And what's even more concerning is that there's no real transparency on how they're deciding what vehicles are worth what value. They're not using a Kelley Blue Book value. It's not indexed to anything. It's just looking like it's going off of what they believe the purchase price was when originally purchased. Now, if you buy a $100,000 truck 20 years ago and never sold it, you're still paying based on that $100,000. So just think it's a quick, easy system to fix. I shouldn't say that because nothing in this world seems easy in legislation, but I don't imagine there's many people who would disagree with this one.
No, I agree with that 100%. The other thing I think is outrageous is if you move from another state and then you go to get a license plate here, they charge you sales tax on the value of your vehicle. I didn't buy. I already paid sales tax. What?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You should be able to claim that sales tax against the other state, but, I think it's the other way. You should be able to demonstrate that you paid that sales tax in the other state and claim a credit in Louisiana, but it's just additional administrative headache.
Some states don't. Some states
That's
have
true.
exemptions on that.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah.
I was thinking Florida did. When I moved there, they didn't take my money. I think Louisiana took all my money.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people, when they move here, they wait as long as they can. They have to change the license plate.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
No, I hear you.
Had I known, I would have waited. I did it in good faith. I thought, I better get this done. Got there, and it was like, this was back in 2000. And it I can't remember, it was hundreds of dollars.
You're already spending a lot of money to move if you are.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
That's why a lot of people around here have their states miraculously registered in other states. Because they own like something random.
Yeah. So.
Well, imagine if it's a brand new car, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, my
Sure,
friend.
appreciate it.
All right. Okay. Another point that came up during the debate yesterday between Letlow and John Fleming had to do with Fleming and his connection to a lobbyist organization. And he talked about that too.
The land rights that Jones Walker and her fiance are actually attacking.
Did he not just say that he takes money from a lobbying firm monthly?
I am paid by a firm to be an advisor. I am not lobbying, and they're not paying me to lobby. It's perfectly okay to do that. I give them advice.
And again, I'm not going to go down this road about attacking family. That's below the belt.
Let's move on. All right. Okay. So what that was in reference to was Fleming brought up, if we want to talk about lobbyists, how Julia Latlow's fiance, Fleming said, is a lobbyist for the carbon capture industry. And she very much bristled at that. Said, you shouldn't bring family into it. I wouldn't talk about your wife.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, ruh-roh.
Well, I don't know. I just don't have a lot to say about the race at this point, I guess.
Yeah. I think we'll have a runoff. It'll just be a matter of which two of the three candidates get into that. And, we'll see.
So they didn't spend any time on carbon capture?
They did. Yeah, they talked a little bit about it. So I actually shared the video from KPEL News to our Facebook page, KSYL Facebook page. So if y'all want to go back and watch that debate, you can certainly do so. And I'm sure I'm going to be talking more about it on his show today as well. All right, let's get another call in. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, I just wanted to come off the other guy's conversation about the paying the taxes on your sales tax on your vehicle. Well, I moved from Louisiana, and my two vehicles that I bought there, I paid the sales tax, moved to Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now when we move back at the end of this month, my question is, will I be paying that, or will I be able to prove to the state I've already paid the state already those taxes or not? Do y'all know?
Ooh, no, I don't know. That's a good question. I would maybe try to research that online first, but I would not be shocked if they did try to charge you. But I don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure. I would check into it before you go down there, because once you go and you're kind of screwed at that point.
Right, I understand. Hey, I do have a technical question. I wanted to tell you guys that I appreciate what y'all do and y'all been doing for a while. This is a technical question when it comes to media and what's reported and what's not reported, and just give me y'all's honest opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I filed a criminal complaint against some situations that were happening in the town of Ball. The state police looked into it and reviewed it, the 25-page complaint, and it went from a review to an active investigation. It's not just the town of Ball, but the mayor, also some other entities involved, and the Moon Pie Festival, Inc., the company that was filed through the state. I know it's election season, but my question is, why is this off limits to all of the media? It seems to be that the public doesn't get informed that there's an active investigation. Like, to me, it doesn't matter if it's election season. It never has. It just matters whether the facts are forward and they look like what they are, and that's when I report the stuff after confirming it. So I just wanted to know if y'all had an opinion on that, or if y'all believe a state police active investigation that's being done is worth the public knowing at this time, even though it's election season.
No, you're right. Give me an email at steven@sunlawbroadcasting.com. We'll look at it.
I got that. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. And I know that people are really careful about that and when it's election season, but I don't really work off of election season. I'm sorry. My name's Shannon McManus, by the way. But I do appreciate what you guys do, and it is a difficult job at times. But I do appreciate it.
I would say that my main response to that would be is there's so much going on, and you've been kind of all over that. So
yeah.
But yeah, just give me an email. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank y'all for what you guys do.
All right, thank
man.
you.
Thanks.
And we do need to take a break. Right, coming right back.
Great things are happening in Pineville. In just over a year, Mayor Joe Bishop has focused on what matters most: improving streets and drainage, strengthening city services, and supporting our police and fire departments. He's worked with business owners and local leaders, supported local growth, and kept Pineville moving forward. Now there's more to do. Let's keep the momentum going. Vote Joe Bishop for mayor.
I'm Joe Bishop, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by the campaign to elect Joe Bishop.
Remember when eating corn right off the cob was one of your favorite summertime treats? Or how about taking a big bite out of a crisp, fresh apple? If it's been a while since you enjoyed these delightful activities, chances are your teeth are no longer up for the task. But now there's great news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville are Cenlaw's dental implant experts. They're both highly trained and experienced in the procedure. Now with thousands of completely satisfied, delighted patients. They make dental implant surgery simple by using today's most current technologies, along with in-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. You'll be in and out before you know it, without all the anxiety. Plus, at Today's Dental, their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Go back to crunching all your favorite foods. Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 448-4540.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
All right, we have about 20 seconds left. Man, we covered a lot of topics today.
Sure did. Senator John Kennedy also spoke out against eminent domain for carbon capture. You can check out that video on my Facebook page.
Yeah, I've got it queued up, but we've only got, like I said, 20 seconds left. It's about a minute clip. Yeah. So you guys can play it tomorrow.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Coming up on tomorrow's show, by the way, it will be our Cenla Economic Update with Matt Ritchie at 8:05, as Matt had to switch from Tuesday to tomorrow. Also tomorrow is the National Day of Prayer. There's a big event from 12:15 to 12:45 on the steps of Pineville City Hall. I'm sure Nathan will talk more about that tomorrow on the show as well. So, yep, it'll be Stephen and Nathan tomorrow. I'll be back with you all on a Friday. Got to get over to LCU and put in our grades, Stephen.
Oh.
It's Doomsday Wednesday.
Oh, I just didn't never look.
Obviously.
Ignorance is bliss.
All right, everyone have a good day.